how distracting are simple in-car voice commands. In the last couple of weeks, we've talked about the police officers distracted driving. And in this video, we are continuing with this topic because I believe it is very important to help prevent, or shall I say, to help reduce to zero injuries produced by police officers to themselves and others because they have become distracted while driving. Let me be clear on this. Police officers are not to blame in any way for these accidents. It is part of their job to manually operate devices inside their car. Now, however, we know that these devices are the major cause of distraction when police officers are pursuing a suspect. When they try to stop a vehicle for an inspection, when they have to stop a suspect vehicle, or simply when they want to consult something on their PC. Since officers have to manually rely on their in-car devices to fulfill their tasks, they have to deal with these distractions. This is a real problem that is growing very quickly, and it's causing injuries, not only to our officers, but indirectly to other people and to private properties. For example, when a police officer crashed a fence or a traffic sign or a parked vehicle. City police, municipals, counties, and state spend millions of dollars in court costs related to these types of incidents. If you do not believe me, just Google it. We, as MTR mobile integrators, strongly believe that we have found the solution to the ever-growing problem. Our solution is the first one of its kind. Our solution will not only save officers from injuring themselves and others, but it will save millions of dollars to taxpayers. And how are we going to do that? We're going to use the police officer's voice. That is it, nothing else. Now, you are probably wondering, what is the risk to police officers who have to use their voice to control the most common devices in the car? The risk is minimal. Let me prove it to you. Right here, right now. This is something that you will not see anywhere else. You will see it only here. Can I have 5 minutes of your attention? The AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety in 2013 did an extensive study about assessing cognitive driving while using voice commands. Driver distractions are visually, manually, and cognitive. Manually and visually are, for example, when the driver takes his or her eyes off the roadway to interact with any type of device. The cognitive is probably the more difficult to measure. In this case, the driver's eyes are on the roadway and his or her hands on the steering wheel. But he or she is not attending to the information that is critical for safe driving. In other words, his or her mind is on the next job meeting or thinking what he or she is going to prepare for dinner, who's playing the song in the radio. The AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety has an extensive research that measures and understands cognitive distractions. Briefly, I will tell you how it was done. The following graph is a framework that was used to measure voice commands and the assessment of cognitive distractions while driving in a vehicle. Driver workload is classified in 5 categories, from 1 being the minimum distraction to 5 being the maximum distraction. Workload rating refers to the mental work used by a person to perform a task. In the figure, it is evident that some activities, such as listening to the radio or an audiobook, were not very distracting. Other activities, such as conversing with a passenger or talking on a handheld or hands-free cell phone, were associated with moderate, significant increases in cognitive distraction. Finally, there are in-vehicle activities, such as using a speech-to-text system to send and receive texts or email messages, which produce a relatively high level of cognitive distraction. How distracting are simple car voice commands? The research examined the impact of simple car voice command on the cognitive workload. The findings were that with these simple car voice commands, the cognitive workload associated with it was a mere rating of 1.88, ranking close to listening to an audiobook. There, you have it. You can find full reports to further understand the minimal distraction impact associated with in-car voice commands here. Thank you for watching.